This is just the most recent in a series of conflicts between Pakistan and India. Ever since the formation of Pakistan in the mid to late 40s, these two countries have not gotten along. It's two countries who have very strong nationalist sentiment, but most importantly, these are two countries with very strong religious feelings, and that religion gets injected into the relationship between the two countries. So very strong Muslim population and very strong Muslim sentiment within the politics of Pakistan. Prime Minister Modi in India has been a very ardent Hindu nationalist. So throughout the history, throughout humanity, the most horrible, bloodiest kinds of conflicts between human beings tend to be those that have religious fervor behind them. And so that's part of what makes this so dangerous. It's one of the few places in the world where the geography is very tight, where borders are up against each other. And so the tensions often spill over because they're still competing for various parts of Kashmir and Jammu, which are these areas up against the Himalayas up in the north of both Pakistan and India. In the past, these two countries have fought 3 conflicts over this very area. Things had calmed down a bit, but it's not unusual over the past of the decade or so for clashes of some sort, whether it's exchanging artillery fire or armed clashes that occur along these border areas, particularly between China, India, and Pakistan.
Kashmir was a state that did not accede to either India or Pakistan at the time of independence in 1947. At the time of independence, all such princely states were given the option of either joining India or joining Pakistan. Kashmir historically has then become the biggest sort of issue between the two states because it did not join till the time the two countries became independent and even after that. In recent years, the number of tourists going into Kashmir had gradually gone up to a point where tourism was becoming a revenue generator for the state. At the same time, there has been heavy military presence, Indian military presence in the region. There have been conventional and sub-conventional conflict between India and Pakistan, so conventional as in wars between India and Pakistan. And in the more recent decades, that conflict has mostly manifested itself in the form of terrorist attacks on India.
On the best day, the relationship between Pakistan and India is terrible. And so this has gone from terrible to worse. What the world wants to happen is to get back to the status quo of terrible. There have been some very dangerous things going on where the Indians have been talking about damming up the Indus River, which flows from India from the Himalayas and flows into Pakistan. So if the Indians turn off the available water within the Indus River, they would be turning off the water into Pakistan. And that could be grounds for a war.
No one wants that this should escalate into full-scale war, because one of the things we must remember is that both the states are nuclear powers. Even thinking that this would be a choice would be a bad idea. So that's another concern for not only the region, but for the international community.
Things are never going to be good between these two countries. There's just so much potential, whether it's water, whether it's religion, whether it's territory, geography. There are so many things that are constantly and going to continue to irritate the relationship between Pakistan and India, that the best we can hope for is some sort of very low-scale war or some sort of very high-tension kind of relationship, but not the exchange of nuclear weapons.